G'day there tankers, Dr. Ferd here. Welcome to episode 3 of Blitz Tactics. I'm trying to push this episode out during the long dark wait of the 2.9 update. This episode is, if you like, a homage to the days of yore, old style, in your face, hold down, smash up fights in Blitz. This type of fight is going to become more rare as the maps continue to progress to being medium heavens. But wherever there's a choke point, these types of fights are still very relevant, particularly when there are organised teams determined to hold and defend hold down positions. The types of areas I'm talking about are the north side of the hill on Mirage, the Pagoda area in the temple, behind the cap on Falls Creek, and the alleyways of Himmelsdorf with the rubble piles. Episode 3 of Tactics is called The Bar Fight at the Malinovka Mill. It was recorded on the original version of this map. On the left is the East team. It consists of 4 heavies, 1 medium and 2 TDs. The West team has 2 heavies, 1 medium and 3 TDs, a lot of really huge guns in this fight. The gameplay was recorded from the viewpoint of the East team, from the E100, the M48 Patton and the T110E5. I'd like again to thank my clan Triari for the volunteers for helping to record this footage. Our clan is made up of tankers who have endured and persevered in the trials of life. That's okay, Ferd, you can call them oldies. Okay, well, so full disclosure, we have some seriously grumpy and stubborn hold down tankers. Given the map and the layout of the teams, the only way this fight's going to go down is in a massive bar brawl at the mill. So I'm going to borrow from one of the more Triari scenes ever. Both teams roll out in the predicted pattern with all the heavy vehicles heading straight for the mill. The TD from each team eventually sets up in a sniper holding position, and at the initial contact there's a mass of heavy vehicles at the mill. The West T-54 makes the mistake of overcommitting, and after his suicide it seems as though the fight's going to settle down into a straight up slugfest.
How's that barbecue? Give me some.
We're busy. Before we get lost, all right?
Hey, who do you think you are, huh?
Just dumb kid, don't kill him. Right.
The turning point in the battle is when the M48 Patton flanks to the rear of the West team. It has the same impact on the bar fight as going to the truck for a shotgun.
Show these old bastards who's tough. Get out your knife. Yeah.
Now, boys, you're fixing to let those teenage hormones get you into the world of trouble. Damn it, Garth, did I ask you to butt in? Well, you just come out of the hospital.
Well, there's only 4 of them.
Yeah, but, well, look, you fight this one first, and then I'll let you fight the other 3 after, okay?
Yeah, watch this kid.
The Patton CODs, the Object 268, then holds the West IS-8 in place for the rest of the battle, which turns the mill fight into a 4 versus 5 fight with an extra TD gun on the east. Which means that the West guns drop one by one. And that's the bar fight at the Malinovka Mill. On the NA server at least, the meta for this map before the change became a real slugfest at the mill, with heavy tanks in particular jockeying over gun depression and hold down positions. The Patton's main objective is to get up to the hold down area to get initial spots on the West team. The West IS-8 has made it there first and engages the Patton, but he's seen heavy support and so he backs off. As the East team gets to their hold down positions, the West T-54 appears coming around the corner of the mill, and he receives 4 hits in 4 seconds.
Enemy vehicle knocked out.
And the game enters its expected heavy phase, with the East E100, T110E5, IS-7, T30 and E75 all moving up into the fray. The M48, realising that all the West team has been spotted and is present in and around the mill area, backs out and starts to contemplate his next move. Knowing that the West T-54 has fallen and that the East team now has a medium advantage, he sets out on a short flank to the rear of the West.
Punched right through their armor.
This is what the pattern has recognised, the remaining 6 West tanks all present in the area. The face-off of heavy metal on the East team from left to right is the IS-7, the T-110E5, T-30, E-100 and the E-75. And from left to right on the West team is the T-110E3, the Object 268 at the back, the IS-7, IS-4, T-110E4 and the IS-8. It's basically one of those big WWE smackdowns, where everyone's lined up in a cage and they're just wiping people out one by one. It's IS-7 versus IS-8, T-110E5 versus T-110E4, E-100 versus T-110E3.
Destroyed. Nice shot.
Meanwhile, the pattern is nearly toward the end of his short flank and has discovered the Object 268, all on his own.
Punched right through their armor.
The West IS-8 is turned to come assist the tank destroyer, but it arrives too late to change the outcome. Whereas up at the mill, the E-100 bounces a killing blow off the weak point of the T-110E3. The West IS-8 and Patton exchange blows, and the Patton decides that discretion is the better part of valour and feigns retreat through the back of the town, only to return to harass the IS-8 some more. The hold down, weak point and gun depression slugfest continues at the mill. And 3 minutes into the game, the West team pulls one back, getting the T-30, but then immediately lose another tank, the T-110E4. The West IS-7 pushes past the mill, but the East T-110E5, IS-7 and E-75 have the combined firepower to terminate him. Meanwhile, the intrepid Patton has been baiting the IS-8, keeping him in a neutral zone in the battle, unable to contribute to the main fight and keeping his turret turned. At 3.5 minutes into the game, it's become 4 versus 2 guns at the mill, and once the E3 goes down, the game moves into the cleanup phase. And not to forget that the East Death Star has been sitting on a hilltop, taking his time with targets of opportunity for most of the match. The IS-4 is the second to last tank down, and the Patton's excellent harassment of the IS-8 continues until he delivers the final blow.
He's gone. Find us another target.
So this battle was interesting because it was a textbook example of the type of battle that the meta had become, at least on this map on the North American server, with heavies duking it out in hold down positions around the mill, with the occasional flanks by mediums and overwatch by TDs in strong sniper positions. Wargaming themselves justified the changes to the map based on their data that they indicated recently in a heat map, which basically confirmed exactly what we've just witnessed, that the main fights occurred in and around the mill, with large parts of the map getting very little use in regular gameplay. It was no surprise then that they reworked the map on the last update, and these changes are aligned with every other reworking of maps that we've had in the game in recent times. Namely, Desert Sands, Oasis Palms, Middleburg and Lost Temple have all had similar changes to flatten hills, remove obvious sniper positions, and create an environment that is typically medium and light tank friendly. While their stated goal seems to be that they want to create maps that are used over the whole area of the topography, I think one of the outcomes is that they're favouring these faster vehicles. One of the questions is there much of an accident with this phenomena? One of the things we've been all waiting for is 7-on-7 in training rooms, or whatever iteration of Clan Wars they bring out with Blitz. And one thing that's been recently mentioned by Wargaming is the development of an esports version of Blitz. And that has precedent in the PC and Xbox world. If you take a look at some of these clips from esports World of Tanks, you'll see that the major features are speed, movement, rolling terrain, micro encounters of 2 versus 1, 3 versus 2. It seems as though there's a general favoritism towards speed and maneuverability over armor and alpha damage. Like it or not, this may be the direction that Blitz is going to be taken in the future. It could be that the new Mirage map is actually the template for what we'll be expecting to see in maps going forward. The map provides a little bit for all tank types in a very dynamic and flexible playstyle, and no solid meta has yet developed for it. Similarly, a new meta has yet to develop on the updated Winter Malinovka map, with the drained and iced over swamp providing very interesting gameplay for medium tanks. It's somewhat surprising then that Wargaming have introduced a couple sniper positions for TDs into the reworked Black Goldville map. A lot of fun can be had with a perfectly led shot onto a fast moving tank a long distance away. One of the strengths of Blitz has been the ability for various playstyles favoured by various players in various tank types, and hopefully Wargaming will continue to develop Blitz maps and balancing to favour all tank types and various game styles moving forward. And while some will mourn the massive bar fights of the past, they'll certainly remain as part of the game in one way, shape or form. Thank you for watching this episode of Blitz Taqtix. Please like, share or comment and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Let's roll out. And remember, whatever you do, explode the potato, don't be the potato.
Enemy